Hello and welcome to my step-by-step process on how I went from 5 years being down bad with food, no period in sight, binge eating, restricting, and just not feeling like myself, not feeling confident in anything that I wore, to the complete opposite of having a regular healthy cycle, having food freedom, eating what I want, when I want, intuitively eating, and also just feeling really confident in my body and having no desire to change it whatsoever. I'm the strongest I've ever been, the healthiest I've ever been, and the mentally healthiest I've ever been as well. And I want to teach you guys how to do that as well. Okay. So I'm going to go over the the flow state formula. I'm going to go over some of my client testimonials and women just like you who have succeeded throughout this whole process. I know we can get into a mindset of thinking that we are a snowflake and a little butterfly, that nothing in this world works for you because you are a snowflake, and that is not the truth. That is a limiting belief that you have. And before we get into this, I want you to just zip that out of your brain right now, okay? You can be helped. You are not the exception. You are the rule, okay? You just need to make a decision in order to get to where you want to go, right? Fear is in the middle of you right now. You need to get over that hump of feeling fear and do something about it. Go into the unknown, do something that you haven't done before, because that's what's going to get you the results, okay? So, the flow state formula. Who is this for? You're probably a career-driven woman. You've got your career nailed down. You are a perfectionist maybe, or identify as one. You give it 110% whatever you do, and maybe your ADHD brain is really paralyzed by all of the information on the internet, on TikTok, on Instagram. It's very conflicting and confusing, so you don't know what direction to go in, okay? And I've been there. I relate a lot to you, and a lot of it is myths, right? And I personally have a very big fear of wasting my time, and I don't want you to waste your time with any of the fad diets that are out there and thinking that that's going to get you to where you want to go. Because right now, you want to fix your problems. Maybe you have not a very healthy cycle, or it's missing, your hair loss, your digestion is crappy, you can't sleep, your energy is low. All of those are symptoms of an underlying problem. And that problem typically lies with an unhealthy relationship with food that causes you to have habits that are not serving you. Okay? I want you to think of one of those habits right now and changing that and learning to change that. How would that affect your life? Okay, if you had energy, if you had a healthy cycle, how would you feel? Would you feel more confident? Probably. Okay? So we're not looking for band-aids. We're looking for sustainable solutions to your problems. Okay? So your past probably looks like fad diets, maybe keto, maybe low carb. Don't know why carbs are so demonized, but your body needs them for fuel, okay? And if you are currently scared about carbs, we are going to work through your whole relationship with food, with macronutrients, and just heal your view on it, right? Because we don't want to be scared of food. We don't want to have anything outside of ourselves control us, okay? That's not what we do here. Maybe you've tried fasting and that hasn't gotten you anywhere. Maybe it's led you to a binge eating kind of disordered way of eating. You're a chronic restrictor. So again, maybe you're running yourself into the ground, skipping breakfast because you don't have time, fasting because it's burning fat, or I don't know, maybe you're restricting totally all food groups, restricting treats, and this is just leaving you starving and irritable and sad. Maybe you have a cardio addiction where you have to get set number of steps in each day, or do 30 minutes of cardio after your weight training. Maybe you're not weight training at all and only doing Pilates and running. You're in this roller coaster ride of yo-yoing, losing and gaining the same 10 to 15 to 20 pounds for years, and you're really, really goddamn tired of it, okay? Maybe you think food is the enemy, and the less you eat, the quicker you'll get to your goals. Not the case, okay? These are all limiting beliefs, and all of these things you've done before haven't worked for a reason, okay? Let that sink in. They have not worked for a reason, okay? And it's because they're not the right way. Maybe you feel overwhelmed with social media, comparing yourselves to the next fitness model, or comparing yourselves to, who you were before, pictures of you before. If you were in the best shape of your life and you've lost your period, now you're trying to get it back, you can kind of go through an identity crisis and want to keep that leanness, but you can't if you want to be healthy and free, right? So you're desperate for change, and you're here watching this video, and I'm here to tell you that all of these things didn't work because you hadn't found me yet. Now you have. So let me tell you what this process is and who it's not for. Women under 18. I need to and I want to work with women who are actually dedicated to changing. And what I've found with my past experience is women under 18 just don't have the time, they don't have the energy, they just don't put the effort that I need them to put into this program, okay? Women who play the victim. So if you are blaming everything outside of yourself and don't know that you hold the power to change your life, and you still hold that power, or you still hold that victim mindset at the end of this video, this is not for you, okay? People who can't take constructive criticism. So I'm going to guess that if you're in the corporate world, if you're a career-driven woman, you know how to take constructive criticism and you actually love it. I love it. I love feedback. I love becoming the best version of myself, and I hope you do too, okay? Women who are not open to growth. And finally, women who want a magic pill. Like I said before, the magic pill might fix your symptom, but it's not going to fix all of them. Let's get into your goals right now. Maybe you want to get your period back, but you're tired of going to extremes. You don't know how to get yourself out of it. You don't know how to let go of your current habits. This is going to be for you, okay? You want to be the best version of yourself physically, mentally, in your career and your relationships. A lot of the times when our health is not at its best, we don't show up for the people around us. We don't show up for our career. We have brain fog and it just spews everywhere in our life, and we don't want that to happen. When you feel good and when your health is in check, everything around you feels so much better, so much easier, okay? You want to heal your hormones naturally without birth control, okay? I am not a big believer in birth control. I have had a very vast experience of doctors giving me the pill or offering me the pill for my hormonal issues to get my cycle back, and that just dug my grave further. So you don't want to go on the pill. You want a sustainable fat loss program that you're also gaining muscle. As women, muscle is very detrimental for your long-term health. We are going to go through menopause, whether you like it or not. And at that stage of life, muscle is the biggest asset for your health span, for your mobility, for your balance. So if you care about yourself in the future, if you care about showing up for your grandkids and your kids later on in life, you're going to want to build some muscle right now, okay? You want permanent results. You are really tired of the fad diets, you're tired of the challenges, nothing has worked for you, and you are ready to buckle down and do the work to see long-term results. Typically, people want fast results, but they spend their whole life doing these fast results. So if you spent 6 months doing the right work, how fast are the fast results if it has no end date, right? It's not fast, it's lifelong. You want to be a positive role model for your kids, specifically your daughters, right? You don't want to have your daughter view food like you do. You don't want to have your daughter look in the mirror and hate her body. And she is going to learn so much from you. You need to do the inner work to heal yourself so you don't pass it down to her, okay? Heal from restrictive diets and stop hating yourself. So as much as we don't want to pass it down to our daughters and our kids, we also want to have fun in our lives. We want to stop hating ourselves because it's so exhausting, okay? And that's what you're going to learn here. So let's get into some of my clients and also my backstory. So I came from a past of so many eating disorders, anorexia, bulimia, binge eating, the whole 9 yards. You name it, and I was in it, okay? And throughout this process, throughout the whole 5 years where I was in that and down bad with food and my body, I lost my period, okay? And that caused hair loss, digestive issues, just being really focused on food, and I lost a lot of opportunity to make memories with my friends and my family, and I just don't want that for you. So what I had to do, I actually went all in. If you guys are familiar with that term, I went all in, and I don't like that process. And so I lost my period, went all in, just ate a bunch. I stopped exercising, and at the end of it, I hated my body. I hated myself. I didn't know how to get back into exercise, and so I created this process, and I treated myself as a guinea pig to kind of test it. So at the end of that experience, I still had not addressed the underlying food issues that I had. They were still present. My eating disorder was kind of still in my brain, and I didn't know how to get her out. Okay, so I did this kind of guinea pig trial on myself where I reversed my calories back up. I did some body recomp. I addressed my fear foods. I addressed all of the things that were keeping me stuck. And I went from really inflamed and bloated to a lot more lean without even trying. Okay, so throughout this process, I was intuitively eating. I was healing my mind, healing my relationship with food. And throughout the whole thing, I did not lose my period. So I did a successful kind of cut without losing my period at all, feeling good, feeling healthy, and I just want to teach you guys how to do the same. And I know a lot of us can really hate to see our body change and self-sabotage because of that. The mindset work that I did to watch my body change and be okay with that is so valuable, and that's why I'm a very big believer in doing the mindset work along with the physical work in order to truly heal what is wrong, right? Which is your relationship with food and your relationship with your body. Okay, so since then, I've had a regular period. I have been intuitively eating successfully. I've maintained my fat loss, and life is amazing. My period is healthy. I'm healthy. I can wear what I want. I can wear a bikini and not think twice about it or think about how my pants are sitting at Christmas dinner. I can have pumpkin pie and just move on with my life. And it's a very freeing place to be. And I want you to get there. Okay. Just like Sarah. Sarah came to me binge eating. She had been known as the kind of overweight kid and struggled her whole life with this. Okay. She got a surgery done where she got weight loss surgery done. That had not helped. She came to me eating 1,000 calories a day. And what we did was reverse diet. We worked her calories back up to about 2,000. And throughout the whole process, she actually lost 10, 15 pounds. And then she got pregnant because she wanted to have a little girl and not pass her bad relationship with food down to her. So this is Sarah. She came to me with hormonal issues, hormonal acne. She had been a cardio bunny, and just her body was super stressed, and she wanted to build some muscle, feel better in her skin, feel strong, heal her hormonal acne, heal her endo. She has endometriosis. So for those of you who don't know, that just means that uterine lining grows outside of your uterus, and it's very painful. And through lifestyle and diet, lifestyle and diet habits, you can not necessarily reverse, because it's not reversible, but you can limit the symptoms that you have, and that's what she did throughout the program. This is Victoria. She is currently in her fat loss phase, but this is the progress that she's made so far. This was actually at the end of her reverse diet, so she was not tracking her food, she didn't know what she was eating, lacking on protein, going to Tim Hortons constantly, and she didn't really have any structure in her life. So what we did first in the first phase is nail down the structure, and we got her into a good routine where she feels good, she's thriving, and she was getting enough protein intake in. She knows what she was putting in her body and how it affected her, with also sprinkling in some Tim Hortons, some fun food, some pizza, because you want to have a flexible approach to dieting. Otherwise, it's not going to be a lifestyle change. Okay. And this is her now entering a fat loss phase. So her calories have gone way up. So about 700 calories more than she was eating here. And that is leaving us in a really good spot to do a cut, right? So we're not going to feel deprived. We're not going to fall into the binge eating habits, because we do have a solid base, right? And that's what we do in the second phase. This is Sam. She wanted to get wedding ready, so she came to me, not really tracking her food. She had a regular cycle, was strength training, but not super intensely. And throughout the program, she's almost finished. Her wedding date is, I believe, this month, and I'm super proud of her. So throughout the program, we made sure we were doing some progressive overload in her training and really recomping her body. Her calories and macros actually did not change throughout this whole process, but she's leaned out so well. Okay, so this is a sign for you that you don't always have to slash your calories. Sometimes you're just not doing the right way of training in order to get to your goals and get to that body recomp goal. Okay, this is Taylor. She came to me without a cycle. She had been down bad with HA, had not had a cycle for 3 or 4 years, horrible relationship with food. She was scared of food, and throughout the whole program, she's been working with me for about a year now. We got her cycle back within a month, and she is now currently in a very successful fat loss phase with a healthy cycle. She has not missed one period yet. She has healed her relationship with food. She can now go out to eat and go on vacation and go to Christmas dinner with her family without thinking twice about what she's putting on her plate and just enjoying the moment and moving on the next day. Okay. And this is Ricky, also came to me without a cycle. We got her cycle back within 3 months, and she went into a bulk after we got our cycle back. And because she wanted to get into powerlifting, and she's strong as heck, eating 1,000 calories more here than she did here. Body recomposition was immaculate. She healed her relationship with food, and she feels really free and kind of found herself throughout the program, which is exactly what I want to happen. I want you guys to feel really empowered and inspired throughout the program and know that you deserve to take up space. Okay. This is Laura. This is actually a 6-week transformation. So she leaned out really well in 6 weeks, and this is not going to happen for everyone. However, she came to me, not super consistent. She is a mom of 3, and so workout time was a bit of a struggle, but we managed to work with her schedule, do 3 workouts, 3 full bodies a week. We would nail down her nutrition, and she was able to lean out within 6 weeks of working together while maintaining a very busy schedule. So if she can do it, you can do it. And this is Mimi. She had PCOS, has PCOS, and so weight loss was very stubborn for her. And what we did throughout the program is we nailed down her nutrition, making sure our blood sugar was in balance, and we also implemented some strength training because building muscle is going to be a very great asset, not only, like I said, for our longevity, but also for blood sugar regulation. Okay, so these are some of my amazing women, and the process that I used for all of these ladies is the flow state formula, is what I like to call it. And the first phase, it's 3 phases. The first one is building habits, making that feel easy. Think about it like a foundation of a house. If it's cracked, you're not going to build a very sturdy house. So that's the fad diets. Fad diets are very cracky foundations, and that's why it can't hold what you're building on top of it. Okay, building solid habits and a solid foundation is what we do in the first phase. So we get you consistent in the gym, consistently lifting weights, consistently seeing some strength gains, addressing any nutrition that you have bottlenecked, any nutrition bottlenecks that you have, getting our calories up if we need that, addressing your relationship with food and binge eating, and just building self-trust. So you want to be a woman of integrity, right? And the more reps we do, it's just like a muscle. The more reps you do, the more self-trust you build, and the more sustainable and long-term the results are going to be. Okay, and then we move into metabolic healing. So this is where my clients get their cycles back. We have successfully healed their metabolism, their digestion is so much better, their sleep is so much better, anxiety has gone down. A lot of the time my ladies with HA have really bad anxiety, and that is very closely tied to the fact that you don't have your period, right? I remember when I was in HA recovery, or prior to HA recovery, I was just a mess with anxiety. And now that I've healed that, I'm much calmer, I'm much more mellow, I'm much more go with the flow. And that's something that I also see with my other HA clients. So if you struggle bad with that or brain fog, that's where also it's going to be healed and you'll feel a lot more clarity. Your relationship with food starts to heal as we introduce and reintroduce fear foods and getting that more neutralized in your life, and your body starts to function so much more optimally. And then we move into your physical goals. So once we've addressed the root cause of your symptoms that you're having, and you feel good, you feel like you can go into a cut, your metabolism is healed, that's what we do. So we go into a fat loss phase. So like I said over here, with Victoria, what we did here is this was her building her habits, and then we went into a metabolic healing, and this is her at a very healed metabolic rate. And then we moved into this phase, which is our physical goals. Okay. So this is where we do a cut or a bulk, and then we continuously work on body image and feeling content with your body. And once we hit a place where you're feeling good, you're confident, you can wear a bikini and not think twice, then we move you into intuitive eating. Okay, this is where Sarah ended in her journey. So I transitioned her into intuitively eating so she can maintain this result and maintain this confidence and a body she's proud of forever, because she's done the work in order to make it a permanent result. Okay, so that's what we do here. We listen to our hunger, our fullness cues, we intuitively train, and you can just graduate the program not having to focus on numbers. So the 3 main reasons that you're stuck right now is because your mindset is flawed, your strategy is flawed, and your self-image doesn't align with your actions. Okay, so your mindset, blaming things outside of your life or outside of yourself, like your kids, your work, your situation, they should be the reason that you do take care of yourself. Okay, so rather than having the limiting belief that you are capped at whatever your life situation is, open that up. Okay, you can, if you want to, put your mind to something, you can accomplish it. Okay, self-sabotage. Every time you get close to your goal, subconsciously, you sabotage yourself. And that's because your subconscious is controlling you right now. What we want to do is shift your subconscious into doing what we want it to do. So think about it like this. In the Amazon rainforest, there's a path that's already made. This is the path of self-sabotage. In the path of where you are going to achieve your goals, there's a lot of bushes, there's branches, there's all this and that. We have to slowly cut that down and slowly make this path. That's your neural pathway in order for it to stick. So the more we practice the new habits and the new way of life, the more permanent it's going to be, the more default it's going to be in your subconscious mind. Okay, the less likely you are going to sabotage. So it's a process, but the reason you're self-sabotaging is because your subconscious mind and what you've been doing over and over and over again is sabotaging you. Okay, letting your past control your future. If you let that boy from 10th grade dictate how you view men and your relationships in the future, you will never find the love of your life. Okay. You can't let your past dictate your future. That's going to keep you stuck, okay? Just because you haven't gotten there yet doesn't mean you're not going to get there, okay? Visualize your outcome and your strategy, right? So like I said before, you probably come from a past of fad diets and restriction, and that's just diet culture. And diet culture makes money off of you. That's why diets don't work, right? Because then you come back when it didn't work because it worked before. Okay, so it's just a capitalization scheme where you're buying into diet culture and doing things that worked before but didn't work for a reason. Okay, your metabolism is shot. Constantly restricting, constantly trying to eat less and less has left your metabolism defeated. And the first step we need to take is to heal that if you want to maintain lasting results, okay? Too much cardio and not enough lifting. We need to let go of our obsession with HIIT and running and get into the weight room and start lifting heavy weights. I promise you are not going to get bulky. You are going to build strength, feel like a badass, and maintain muscle mass that is going to be so crucial for the longevity of your life, okay? You're too focused on the external result and not paying attention to health. Sometimes we can get really in our heads and pinch ourselves on our body and say, oh, I need to lose fat, when in reality, we are healthy at a healthy body weight, maybe not a healthy mind, but we need to do more mindset work than changing our body, right? It's the saying of, regardless, if you're not confident now, you're not going to be confident in a lower body weight. And that's so true. Okay, so we do need to pay attention to our health first and foremost. Secondly, the way our body looks, okay? Because we're going to get old, you're going to get pregnant maybe, and your body's going to change, and you have to be accepting of that. And the more you work towards being accepting of that, the easier life is going to be, the more fun life is going to be, okay? Not letting yourself get enough rest and recovery. You're probably go, go, go all the time, stress to the nines. Stress is one of the health pillars, okay? So we need to dial in what stressors, what perceived stressors you're facing right now, and heal those, or create some boundaries for you to put up and protect your energy, okay? And the third bucket, self-image. So it comes down to who you are as a person, whether or not you're going to get to your goal, right? No matter what your body looked like, if you aren't confident right now, you're not going to be confident later, okay? So we do need to do the self-work and the self-image work in order to heal our mindset towards our body, stop with this body dysmorphia, stop with the body checking, and be neutral. And say, hey, I can have a bad body image day and still do what I need to do, okay? You lack integrity. You lack self-trust. When you say you're going to do something, you go back on it. Maybe you say, oh, I'm going to work out tonight, and you don't do it. That's lacking integrity, and we need to build up your self-trust in order for it to become a habit and for you to actually become a woman of integrity, right? You have raging body dysmorphia, okay? We need to heal that as well. We don't want to go around and look in every car window and reflective mirror and just check how our body is looking, check how big our stomach looks, right? That's the least most important thing about you. And the less we focus on it, the more you can focus on your career, the more you can focus on your family, your relationships, and all in between, okay? And you lack boundaries. So likely you're pouring all of yourself into everyone else and not yourself. And that is causing you to self-sabotage. It's causing you to get really drained and really irritable at the end of the day, right? So we need to put up some boundaries if you're going to actually accomplish what you set out to accomplish, okay? So that is the method that I use. I hope you guys found some value, if anything, from this video. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, check the description for a link to my coaching application, and I will catch you in the next one.